Hi there. Every year around the holiday time is when I notice that most of my patients, and especially people who have children, have a lot more sickness. And we always think it has to do because of the weather, but actually holidays are quite a stressful period of time. And today I'm going to tell you about how to minimize the stress of the holidays and how to stay healthy throughout the whole season. My name is Dr. Shiroko Sokitch. I'm the owner of Heart to Heart Medical Center and the author of the book, Healing When It Seems Impossible, 7 Keys to Defy the Odds. And again, today I'm going to talk to you about keeping your immune system healthy throughout the holidays and what to do to minimize the stress of the holidays. Can you believe that Thanksgiving is just like a week and a half away or something? Anyway, it's quite soon, and I know a lot of people are traveling during that time, and many people are going through driving a long distance to get to family members and to avoid having to fly and deal with the messiness in airports. But all travel during the holidays can be stressful because we're thinking about joining family and getting to our destination and being on time and all the different things that we think about when we're traveling for holidays. So first of all, if you are going to be traveling for holidays, of course you want to boost your immune system before you do. So if you're driving somewhere, then you're usually in the car with people you know and you already have your immune system sort of tuned with those people. But if you're going to be getting on a plane, first of all, you're dealing with the travel in the airport and all of that. And you're also sitting on a plane for a length of time and your body's going through a lot of transition. So I usually recommend that you boost your vitamin D, C, and I have a product that I like to give my clients called Immune Charge, which is a liquid tincture that is made with 20,000 of D, 2,000 of C, and then A, E, K, and elderberry. And whenever I travel, I take a shot of that before I get on a plane. And I usually take a shot when I get to my destination. And if I'm around people who are sick or in really crowded locations, then I take it every day. Like I've been on a cruise last summer and I took it every day because it was always a crowded destination. And so I just took it every day for a few days in order to make sure that my immune system was at its peak. I have found that to be very effective for my own not getting sick. There's also some supplements that have been studied in relation to COVID and in relation to getting in recovery from various infections, but also really good for prevention. And there's supplements that have a group of ingredients that will help reduce your chance of being sick, but also reduce the duration of being sick if you are. There's a product called Immune Active that I like, but here are the main ingredients to look for in any product that you want to use to protect your immune system. So it's NAC, which is N-acetylcysteine. That is the precursor for glutathione, but also it helps your nose not be stuffy and it helps your immune system function better, and it helps your body fight viruses. There's also quercetin, which is Quercetin, and these are both, or quercetin is from the inside of the white part of citrus fruit, and it is immune system stabilizer and again immune protector. There is green tea, which for some people is maybe a problem because of the varying caffeine dose, but you can get decaffeinated green tea. And NAC, quercetin, green tea, elderberry, stinging nettles, vitamin C, vitamin D. And if you're using vitamin D, when you're worried about getting sick, you want to make sure that the vitamin D is pretty high dose. So on a daily basis, you don't take a high dose of vitamin D. You should just take like 1,000 IUs or 2,000 IUs, like around there, not too much. And if possible, you should measure your vitamin D to see if you need it. Because some people have a vitamin D a genetic program that makes them not be able to use vitamin D in the same way as others. So you want to make sure that your vitamin D works for you. But when you are using vitamin D to protect yourself from being sick, you want to take like 10,000 or 20,000 IUs. Same with vitamin C. You want to take a fairly high dose, like 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C, if your body tolerates it, because vitamin C can cause diarrhea for people who don't tolerate it well. So then you want to, of course, take a lower dose if that's the case. But anyway, vitamin C and vitamin D can help you not get sick. Like in my office, there are times when several of my staff or myself have felt like we were catching something, and I'll take one of those little shots of immune charge and it all just goes away within a short period of time. So I feel those are strong supplements. There's another group of supplements that I think are really helpful and that patients of mine have taken during this time of year to prevent from getting sick, and that is mushrooms. So medicinal mushrooms are really helpful because they help your immune system, they help strengthen your body, and they help your protective mechanisms. The company that I like is oh my God, I totally forgot what it is. Anyway, Host Defense. And those mushrooms are those formulas are created by a guy named Paul Stamets, who is the mushroom guy. And he has, his company makes mushroom formulas that are grown in a hermetically sealed lab, organically, without, chemicals. And also mushrooms absorb toxins from the environment. And so if you take them, you want to take them where they're grown from an inside, because the environment for indoor grown mushrooms is controlled and they're not exposed to the air pollution and the toxins in the earth already. And again, mushrooms have been used even in 3 Mile Island in the past to help detoxify the entire land that was exposed to those chemicals. So mushrooms are pretty amazing. They help detoxify your body without making you sick. And sometimes when you detoxify, you can feel really sick. And so mushrooms are cool because they don't make that happen. They also protect your immune system. My favorite formula is the Host Defense My Community, which has 16 different medicinal mushrooms. It's also good for many other health conditions, but if you're using it in fall, like in Chinese medicine, fall is the time of year when your immune system is challenged the most, because in Chinese medicine, the lungs are most prevalent in the fall, and we're in fall right now, of course. So that starts in September. And it goes until mid-December, at which time it becomes kidney energy. And kidney energy is about overall sense of having energy. So your lungs regulate your immune system and your ability to protect yourself from things that come in from outside. So that is a good time to take care of your immune system and to make sure that you're supporting your immune system, especially if you tend to get sick at this time of year. So I always have people take either the immune active or the immune charge or the Host Defense mushrooms. And sometimes I have them have all three on hand depending on their immunity. So those are my suggestions for fall if you are having that. And then, of course, I always recommend acupuncture, because acupuncture can help boost and help your body make it through the seasonal transitions. So for some of my patients who don't come in for regular acupuncture, I always recommend coming in at the seasonal transition time so that they can help their body support through that time. If you have a particular organ weakness, then you should definitely have acupuncture during that time of year for that organ. So some other tips for travel during the holidays and for how to deal with your immune system for the holidays. And of course, the first is don't get stressed. So if you tend to be traveling to visit people where you feel really stressed out, maybe visit them at a different time of year so that you don't have to feel stressed about the people you're spending time with over the holidays. You can always spend time with them in February or in March or at a different time of year so that you're not with in that stressful situation, which is already stressful because of all of the other things that go around with holidays. So 1, 2, make sure that you and your children, especially your children, get enough rest. So if you're traveling with your children, or even if your children are not, if you're not traveling, but you want to make sure that they get to bed on time and that they get enough rest during this time of year, because rest also helps protect the immune system and keeps the body from feeling super stressed. So with your children and with yourself, make sure that you get enough rest and take care of that. Another thing that's very, very helpful is to avoid sugar, because sugar is kind of like, and I've said this before, so maybe you've heard this before from me, but when you eat sugar, it kind of shuts down your immune system for a length of time of several hours. It's almost like when you, I don't know if you know this already, but if you smoke a cigarette, there's these little tiny hairs in your nose. And every time you smoke, those little hairs, they're the things that they push toxins out, and they push bacteria and viruses out of your system. That's why we have these little hairs. And they travel, the little hairs go all the way down into your respiratory system, and they're always working. They're part of your immune system. They're pushing things out. Every time you smoke a cigarette, you paralyze those hairs for an hour or two. And so that means that for an hour after you've smoked a cigarette, your immune system isn't working because it's not beating out these bacteria and viruses that could be coming in. It's also the same with sugar. Like the hairs become paralyzed, your immune system is sort of paralyzed. And so if you're eating highly sugarous foods at a stressful time, it's kind of like things pile up on you, right? And since holidays can be stressful, things pile up on you, and then you can't defend yourself against those things because there's too many things going on in your system. So what you want to do is avoid sugar, avoid bad, unhealthy foods in general. And sugar to me is not just candy bars and chocolate and cakes and cookies, but it is also eating like white bread and white foods, like white rice. Well, white rice is probably okay, but eating too much starchy, low nutrient dense foods. And so you kind of just want to stay away from those during more stressful times, because again, stress kind of accumulates in your body. So you have emotional stresses, you have physical stresses of travel, you have the stresses of what you're eating, and then and you add those things together. Maybe one of those alone would be okay, but if you add them all together, you'll end up feeling or being more prone to getting sick, which is again why I think that people are more prone to getting sick during the holidays, because if you add a bunch of different factors in, then suddenly it topples over and your system can't handle it. So I hope you found that helpful, and I look forward to seeing you again on one of these calls. I love giving them, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Thank you so much.